Hey there. Before we get into this episode of the Hey Kahla Podcast, I want to share with you my free download called Holiday Conversation Starters, the Festive Edition. This is my free downloadable cheat sheet of festive conversation starters. I've included the situations you would use them in, tips on when and how to use them, and I've even included follow-up questions and comments. I have got you covered with this thing because whether it's a family shindig, an office get-together, a cozy friends party, I want to give you ideas that will equip you to combat that nervousness, right? So you can relax, be yourself, and most importantly, have fun while you are at these gatherings. The idea here is that you're not yearning to run to the door and run home as soon as possible for your warm cup of cocoa and snuggling in your favorite blankie at your own house. Too much. So you can download Holiday Conversation Starters, the Festive Edition, on my website at heykahla.com/festive. Again, that's heykahla.com/festive. All right, let's get into this episode. Hey there, and welcome to the Hey Kahla Podcast. I am your host, Kayla Evans, and as we wind down December and get closer and closer to 2025, I wanted to do an episode all about vision boarding and the way I do mine, since I'm convinced it's magic. But honestly, my entire vision boards almost always come true each and every year, or I get something even better, like way better than I could have even imagined when I was putting it together. And I've been sharing my technique with friends for years now. And I also feature it in my workshop, Becoming Your Most Favorite Version of You, which I will be bringing back next year in 2025. If you missed it the last time I ran it, no worries. But I wanted to also give a quick rundown of it here on the podcast as well. If you want to start making one now before 2025 is here. And I also want to say right off the bat, like there's no pressure to like hurry up and get one done before 2025. Last year in 2024, I did my vision board in January. I was just feeling very uninspired last December. And I made one in January and it worked awesome. And the only thing on my vision board that didn't come true was I had this cute little sticker I got from someone in my Hustle and Charm community group that I'm a part of. And it says $1 million in hot pink. And I stuck that on the vision board. I did not make $1 million yet. I mean, there's a couple weeks left to go in the year, but haven't hit $1 million yet in my company. But you don't have to like, I don't believe you have to have it like absolutely done and set in stone for the new year to start. I think, if you want to kind of start thinking about it, working at it little at a time, week by week into January, I think you're still good to go. I also want to start by saying when it comes to vision boarding, yes, I put something audacious like $1 million. I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen. But I also want you to think big as we go into this, right? Like not just what's realistic, but something that's like excitingly a little bit scary for the year ahead, or something that you can accomplish in 1 to 3 years. That's kind of how I envision my vision board when I do it. So hopefully, in another couple of years, I will hit $1 million. That's the goal anyway. But I knew I probably wasn't going to hit it within the first year. So I want you to be not so delulu that you like fill the board with stuff that's never going to happen. I do believe in something, I think it's called like the ladder of success or the ladder of attainability. I heard it in a podcast once, and like you go step by step. You set a goal that's a little bit scary and out there, you reach it. Then you set the next goal that's a little bit scary and out there and you reach it, right? Until you're at the top of the ladder, which is $1 million. So that's what I'm going to start jabbing my jaws about. A vision board, I make mine from like 1 to 3 years in advance. And I want you to think about things that are juicy and exciting and scary and quite audacious, but not something that's so out of the realm of possibility that it just makes you feel defeated. And hopefully that will make more sense as we kind of get into it. So if you've never made a vision board before, or you make one every year and you have no success with it, this is for you. And if you're wondering like, why the heck should I even bother with a vision board? Well, first of all, it's fun. Hello. Like it's so much fun. It lets you dream, you can play with your imagination. It's pretty much like the only adult arts and crafts thing that most of us do. And it's a great time. And who doesn't want more fun in their life? And that is the key to manifesting, right? The more joy, the more fun you're having, the more good things are going to come into your life, because joy and happiness and like peacefulness, that's like at the height of the scale of the vibes that you want to be in, right? But more like cut and dry, like black and white. If you're more like analytically thinking, it makes you really aware of your goals so that you're more likely to work towards them and reach them. Okay, love that. It keeps you focused on what matters most to you. And this is a big one for me because when you know your priorities, you don't spend, the entire year running around like a nut chasing anything and everything shiny. So that's a huge one. It keeps you like laser focused. Another thing that I love, it keeps you motivated. Seeing those images and feeling them, that can really give you the push you need when things get tough or you feel lazy or unmotivated and you're like, nah, I'm good. Nah, you're going to see those images, you're going to feel them, and then those feelings are going to make you move. They're going to drive you. And then another big thing I'm going to leave you with, it sends the message out to the universe. This is what I want. So then you can start manifesting and co-creating with the universe to get those things. So I think it's like a win-win-win-win-win, and it's a lot of fun. And the steps I'm going to cover here, I think it's going to help you craft a vision board, that's as unique and vibrant as you are. We want it to be so you. And I want to come at it from the angle of imagination meets intention. So if you want to write that down, or if you just want to keep that in your mind, imagination meets intention, and with a little bit of magic in there. That's what we're doing. So let's get into this. Step 1, before you even glue a single image or open up any photo, what are they called? Like the websites you get free photos like Pixels or Unsplash or Pinterest. Like before you do anything like that, I want you to set the stage, as always, you know me, because the more high vibe you feel, the better results you're going to get. I mean, who wants to create anything from a space of stress or a messy environment or frustration because you're rushing to get it done during your lunch break, right? Nah. I want you to pick a date and a time where you can be uninterrupted. Give yourself that gift. Do it. And I also want you to, or I guess I invite you to, create a vibe that invites that inspiration. So light a scented candle or sage your space to cleanse it of any lingering energy. You can play your favorite music, or I've been really into, I think I've mentioned this before in the podcast, the 528 hertz playlist. That's solfeggio. I don't know if I'm saying that right. There's like 6 different vibrations. They each do a different thing. I'm going to link some of my favorite Spotify playlists in the show notes if you want to check them out. But just play something that you love, something that's going to get those creative juices flowing. You can be bopping along. We're not just making a board here, right? Like we are crafting the vision for your dream life. And another tip that I love, which I give to all my clients, you can incorporate some crystals that resonate with your goals. So if you're thinking to yourself, like, I want to manifest abundance, which is like almost always my thing, citron is your best friend. I have chunks of that shit everywhere. I love it. Or if you're calling in like a life partner or like a big love, rose quartz might be your go-to, right? Just grab a crystal, put it on your workspace, and kind of, let the magic of your surroundings set the tone for what's to come. So that's step number 1. Set the scene. I'm always about setting the scene. Number 2, I want you to dive into your desires. So at this point, like, we're still going to leave the scissors and the Pinterest boards alone for now. And instead, I want you to grab your journal and we're going to dig deep, because I don't want you to just go and like randomly slap pictures haphazardly on your board. Like, nah, this is about intentionality. Again, remember, imagination meets intention. Yeah, that's what we're going for. So I want you to just take some moments to meditate and reflect on what truly makes your heart happiest. Like, what makes you the happiest? Just get quiet. You can close your eyes, breathe a little bit, just think about some things. And then I want you to like jot them down. Like, what makes you feel alive, and be bold about it. Again, 1 to 3 years is kind of like the sweet spot I find. Don't hold yourself back. Like, what are you wishing for? What are you hoping for? I want you to ask yourself, like, what does my ideal day in 2025 look like? Or 2026 or 2027? Like, how do I want to feel? Is there something in my life that I absolutely am loving right now that I want more of? So I want you to think about everything, right? Like, we're thinking material possessions. Yeah, don't be shy. You want a car? You want a new house? Like, what do you want? Material possessions? Oh, yeah. Like, I even had specific, more like luxury, higher end skincare brands on my board one year. That all happened, right? I want you to think experiences, relationships, personal growth, like anything that makes you smile. I want you to put that on the list. So spend some time journaling, even if you have to do it in a couple of sessions. Just get a good idea of what you want and how it's going to make you feel. So I kind of make 2 columns, and I call in like the things that I think I want. So like with the skincare thing, I wanted to call in the skincare, which is kind of like ridiculous, I know, but it happened. Okay. So I'm using it. And then on the other side, it wasn't so much about that skincare brand. It was what I wanted it to make me feel. So I wanted it to make me feel like it was really luxurious. So I wanted to feel like I was investing in myself, that I was worth the money to invest in the skincare, that I was taking time for myself. So I wanted myself to feel loved and prioritized and appreciated. I wanted to feel like I was doing good for my body because it's like cruelty free. It's like clean beauty. So it was like cruelty free, free of like parabens and all like the nasty stuff. I wanted to feel like I was doing my part to contribute to the environment. So I wrote down the matching feelings to what the thing was. And that is like the magic for me. Like that's where the magic really begins, because so often in our lives, it's not about, okay, we want to get that thing. It's, we really want the feelings that that thing is going to give us, or the feelings that we think that thing is going to give us. So that's so important, even with money, right? Like, yes, okay, I put $1 million on there, but the feeling behind the $1 million is I want to feel safe and secure and abundant. I want to feel proud of myself for the company that I've built. I want to be able to give back to pit bull rescues and things that matter most to me. I want to retire my parents. I want to, pay off my loved one's debt. I want those feelings that go with the money. So it's not so much about the money, because the money in my account, if I don't do anything with it, it's not going to give me any feelings. But the things I'm going to do with the money is going to give me the feels that I'm after. See where I'm going with this? So feel free, make 2 columns, spend a good amount of time on that, right? Because step 3, here we go. Now we're going to get active, physical. Step 3, we're going to gather the visions. We're getting into the juiciness here. Okay. So this is when I want you to finally start looking at pictures for your board. And you can make yours physically, like get magazines or they actually sell, I think one of the gals in Hustle and Charm was telling me you can buy like actual vision board, like books or magazines that have images. You want to do it that way? Awesome. You can make yours digitally. I make mine every single year on Canva. And then what I do there is I gather pictures from like Unsplash or just in Canva or Pinterest. I use a lot of Pinterest photos. They're not as high quality, but I don't really mind. I make digital on Canva, like what are they called? Like a collage. And then I do a couple things with it. I put it as my laptop background. I put it as my phone background, so I see it every day. And then I don't do this every year. But some years I will even order it to Staples to have it printed. And then I have like a physical copy, and then I just put it in a frame I got from Dollarama. Like, boom, done, right? So, I mean, you could even print it off on your own printer, but my printer is like not that great. So I'm a big fan of doing it digitally because you always have that option of printing it. Also, again, I just think it's like a slightly better for the environment than buying magazines, but I want you to do what's going to make you feel best and what's going to work for you. So I want you to start picking pictures that match the visions and the feelings that you have written down, right? So this is like the real magic, I believe. Like I'm convinced this is what makes my boards so effective. It's instead of picking random pictures that I like, oh, that's pretty, or I like those shoes, or oh, that girl's got great hair, that I have no connection to other than I just think they're pretty. I choose pictures that I've already envisioned in my head. So I try to pick pictures that match what I've already envisioned and pictures that give me that feeling that I already know I want to feel. So my vision comes first, then I pick the pictures to match them. Is that landing, right? Like I don't do it the other way. I don't find pretty pictures that I don't have a connection to. You following me? So I already envisioned, like I knew what I wanted my vanity set up with this new skincare to look like. So I went and found a picture that matched my vanity, like my makeup desk table. It's just that IKEA table that I do my makeup on. I picked a picture that most closely suited what I wanted my setup to look like so that I had a better idea. I didn't just go to like the skincare brand website and grab a photo that was all like styled and beautiful. I took a picture off Pinterest in another girl's real life IKEA filled house. And that's what I did. So I want you to have the vision and then pick pictures that match the vision. Okay. That's step 3. Step number 4 is I want you to spice things up. So in addition to images that represent what I want to call into my life, This is also where my vision board is quite a bit different than other people's. I add pictures from things that have already happened. So I add pictures from some of my most favorite moments from the past, like birthday parties with my girlfriends or big events where I was on stage, or just like photos of like it's my dad's cabin, let's be real, but like my cabin at the beach, I take screenshots of the most beautiful, heartfelt messages from my beautiful clients, or I take pictures of handwritten notes from my mama or my bestie. So I just take a picture and then upload it into Canva. And I include those in my board. And the idea here is that these images, they already hold such immense feeling behind them. It does two things. It's going to give more like zhuzh and power to my overall vision board. And then the second thing is it's saying to the universe, like, oh, hell yeah, I want some more of this. Like, I loved this. I want more or better, And again, this is where it kind of steps away from the ordinary when it comes to vision boards, because I have a blend of like what I'm calling into my life, what makes me feel really great, reminders of how blessed and grateful I am for the life I'm already living. And then I'm calling in like more of what I want, the greatness that has already happened in my life. I want more of that. Hell yeah, who wouldn't? So it's kind of a blend of all those things. And again, this is totally up to you. I want it to be as personal and distinctive as you can get it, because I think that's going to be the best. Like your vision board should really be a reflection of you and your soul. So take some time here. And then finally, step number 5, and this is like, I would say this is the most important, but I think like all these steps are really important. I want you to activate and engage, right? Like we're not just going to build this thing physically or digitally and then just like leave it. Like, nah. When your board is put together, again, physically or digitally, and you've put it somewhere where you're going to see it often, your office is a really good one. Again, it's the background of my laptop and my monitors in my office. It's the screensaver on my phone, or like the home screen on my phone. You can put it in your bedroom, on your dresser, your closet as you're getting ready. Again, digital wallpaper, wherever you want to put it somewhere we're going to see it every single day. And then I want you to keep that magic alive by spending a few minutes each day just reflecting on your board. Right? Just look at it, visualize those things in your mind, feel the gratitude. I want you to see those things and then feel as if they've already come true. Like act and feel like they have already come true. That's so important. Like don't just set it and forget it. I want you to actively engage with your board every single day, even if it's just a few minutes just to look at those images. And I just go image by image and just spend a few seconds, and really like generating those feelings and envisioning myself in those moments. And then another important thing that I think a lot of vision boarding misses is as the year goes on and you grow and your goals shift, maybe, I want you to feel free to tweak your board or make changes or, like even toss it out and make a brand new one every few months or so. Like we are always changing and evolving as human beings. And as you get things on your vision board, like that's another reason why I love the digital one. You can remove images or do the whole process of rethinking and revisualizing and then put new images on there, right? Like who says you have to make one board and then you aren't allowed to change or grow? Like, no, that's what personal development is about, my friend. We want you to evolve as the year goes on. So feel free to make changes to your board or don't. Again, it's up to you. And then the last thing I'm going to leave you with is I want you to make sure that you celebrate each one of those goals or manifestations, no matter how small. Right? And this is so important because it shows gratitude and it keeps those good things flowing your way. So if you're going to be switching up your board or zhuzhing it up every few months or whenever you feel like it, as you're removing an image, celebrate it. Be so grateful that you got those things in your life. Because again, more gratitude, more joy is just going to keep those good things flowing your way. There you go. So again, as a confidence coach, I really encourage you to give this a shot. Keep an open heart, keep an open mind, a really playful spirit. Just trust in the magic of your intentions. Imagination meets intention. Your imagination is great. Even if you don't think you're a creative person, once you start flowing, the more creating you do, the easier it is and the more and more confident, I guess, you will get in your creation. And just trust your intentions. Your heart and soul, like you know what you want, even if you're not listening to yourself. So just get quiet for a few minutes, ask your soul what it wants, what you need, and go with it. Your intentions are never wrong. You're not wrong for wanting what you want. And the universe, we know this, loves a co-creator who dreams big and dares to ask for what they want most in life. So this year, and well, next year, 2025, every year, I want you to ask for what you want most in life. Do that for yourself. Give yourself that gift. And I'm going to be finishing my own vision board up over the Christmas break. And I do use these exact steps I've shared here. Like, I'm not just jabbing my jaws. I do these exact things. And again, absolutely everything almost always comes true, or I get a better, higher version, or I get more than what I had originally asked for. So with that, I want to thank you so much, as always, for hanging out with me. Go ahead and share this episode with anyone you know who would love to make a vision board for 2025. This is also a really great thing, actually, to do in a group. Get some snacks, some music, some of your most favorite people. It's amazing. You can have a vision board party. I love it. Go ahead and do that. So thank you again for everything, for tuning in, for listening, for hanging out with me. And I hope you have the best holiday, and I hope you have the best Christmas.